Did you know that Smash Mouth really became popular off of a song that they didn't even write?
They covered the song "I'm a Believer" in the movie Shrek. The song's actual writer was Neil Diamond and was released in 1966, 35 years before.
Although mildly popular before the release of Shrek with their song Walking on the Sun, Smash Mouth really became a name to be remembered when Shrek was released.
Now, let's go on a journey on how Smash Mouth really got famous.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
The band was co-founded in 1994 by Kevin Coleman, Greg Camp, Paul DeLisle, and Steve Harwell in San Jose, California.
Getting their name from Mike Dicta's term for No Mercy football.
This was not Steve's first go at the music industry, as before his involvement with the band, he was a rapper in the group FOS.
Freedom of speech. And in all honesty, I kinda like his rap music. Here's a little taste of it.
In the crew straight rolling. I got a rock so sweet you think it's stolen. We looking low so we go to straight back up. Bass in the trunk and the 40 straight stacks up. Pop the car, pop the trunk and grab a cold one. We at the party.
Oh man, can't get enough of it. Me and the crew straight rolling.
He also appeared in several other media outlets including VH1 reality show, The Surreal Life, and 2001's The Rat Race, where he sung All-Star at the end of the movie.
I'm kinda seeing a trend here, Phil. They seem to get a lot of publicity from movies.
That's right, most of their fame can be attributed to their movie careers.
Really?
Yeah. These days, Steve isn't producing as much music as he used to.
He's only had one reasonably famous song after All Star, which is Justin Bieber.
It asks, what happens to those after they are not famous anymore?
You can see the sudden rise in popularity of Justin Bieber prompted this work into creation.
Also, you can see Steve Harwell's true feelings about his life, because, in a way, he's asking what should do, because he's not famous anymore.
Well, that's not completely true, though. I mean, his true fans still make it out to his occasional concert. But I guess it's not the same as it used to be.
In the words of Steve Harwell, you got some 4-year-olds up to
Explosive.
50-year-olds.
A testament to the wide range of audience his music appeals to.
Smash Mouth has made 18 singles and 13 music videos.
Although many considered Smash Mouth to be a one-hit wonder, they've had quite a few songs in the top 5. Many people wonder where Steve Harwell got his idea to switch from rapping to singing alternative indie.
Most likely because it sucked.
Hey,
But he said he got his inspiration from the Beach Boys, Van Halen, the Waterboys, and Elvis Presley.
I guess you can kind of hear that in his style of singing.
Now we just want to take a look at a few of Smash Mouth's songs.
A lot of people don't realize there's actually a lot of poetic material laced throughout his songs.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. For fun, your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. It's a
The song All-Star itself is littered with poetic devices,
Some of them can be hard to pick up on while listening to the song, however.
but we've analyzed the lyrics and have revealed a few to share with you today.
Right out of the gates, the second line, for example, I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
This alludes to the Harwell's below-average intelligence through the use of a metaphor.
Farther on, in the 8th line, there's an example of personification, when the writer said, your head gets dumb.
This is a case where the author uses personification because it's giving your head characteristics of your brain.
The author also uses rhyme to draw the audience in. An example of this is when, in All Star, he sings, and all the glitters are gold, only shooting stars break the mold.
If you further analyze this line, there are also other poetic devices that can be identified.
The particular one I noticed was metaphor, where he compares the outside box ideas with shooting stars, stating that it's these outside box ideas that can break the mold of our society's way of thinking.
Then, in the first section of that line, all that glitters is gold, is symbolism, where all the glitter is a small moments in life which we can hold dear, and those moments are what are truly gold.
An example of repetition occurs later on in the song, where he sings the same line twice. Hey, now you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey, now you're a rock star, get your show on, get paid.
With only slight variations at the end of each line.
One of my favorite lines is the one which I can relate to on a personal level, is lines 3 and 4. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
This is a brilliant line because it helps us as the readers to see what he is seeing.
As well as giving us a better idea of how the speaker is viewed in society. Spoiler, people think he's a loser.
What's one thing that you really notice about this song?
Well, all their language is very simple, I guess catering to their wide variety of audience.
But I think that his simple language is what makes him a true poet. Although his language is very simple, he's able to get a mature concept across with it.
Steve Harwell masked these mature concepts behind a veil of poetic devices, so older audience can still receive the message,
While the other audience members are left with the pleasant sounding, easily digestible words.
which are most commonly used in everyday vernacular, rather than in songs.
What's the underlying message of this lyric?
You mean the theme? Well, it's that ignorance is bliss. The song sings that in the bliss of ignorance you can be a rock star.
But hey, it promptly warns that in this blissful ignorance, the world will take advantage of you. The world was gonna roll me. The second song we are going to cover is Walking on the Sun.
It ain't no joke, I like to buy the world a token, teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, and teach the world to snuff the fires and the liars. Hey, I know it's just a song, but it's fast for the recipe. This is a love attack. I know when our body's back, it's just like any fat. It retracts before impact, and just like fashion, it's a passion.
The first line, it ain't no joke, I'd like to buy the whole world a toke. Besides the internal rhyme scheme, joke and toke,
Which is prominent throughout the song.
there's also an example of metonymy, because toke is referring to getting high, but getting high is being substituted by the action. The second bit, and teach the world to sing in perfect harmony,
Is an allusion to a Coke commercial. Here's the section they're referring to.
I like to teach the world to sing. Sing with me. Perfect harmony. Perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke.
As you can see, I'd like to buy the world a Coke and teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. He just changes it to I'd like to buy the world a toke and to sing in perfect harmony. Also, in the next line, and teach the world to snuff the fires and the liars.
The fires are a metaphor for conflict, meaning he'd like to end conflict, which would be achieved if everyone was high.
Also, spice the recipe is a metaphor because he's saying the song is a piece on the ingredients list to ending conflict.
He also uses an oxymoron in the next line, love attack, which refers to an attack that he is trying to start, which isn't violent, but loving.
Now, going into the theme a little, which I've already hinted at heavily, well, I gave it away.
If the world was high, it would solve everything.
Hey, I was gonna say that.
I find it very interesting that he writes this song like an adolescent would. The word toke is slang that appeals
Which is why he uses these kind of words. If he were to use words that were not appealing to younger generations, then the song would be geared toward the wrong crowd of people.
However, he brilliantly uses teen slang and lower level words to get his point across.
Honestly, it's quite interesting to see all the work that went into these songs, because on the outside they seem really like they have really trivial lyrics and don't have all that much meaning behind them. But after deconstructing them, I've got a greater sense of appreciation for his work.
Thank you for watching. Bye, y'all.